Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going deep on Buddhist wisdom.
Okay.
With focusing on a Dhamma discussion on the Anuruddha Sutta, led by a venerable, and it really gets into what wisdom is, why it's so important to nirvana, and how it connects to past lives, even.
Yeah, it's a fascinating sutta.
Yeah.
And it really shows how crucial wisdom is in these teachings.
Yeah.
It's not just about just being a good person or something. It's like it unlocks the whole path.
Right. And one thing that really stood out to me was that it's addressed to people with wisdom specifically. So what makes it inaccessible to others? Is it like a secret club?
That's a great question. And I think it gets to the core of what makes wisdom so special.
Yeah.
You see, in Buddhism, wisdom is a wholesome mental state.
Okay.
But it's a rare one. It's not something that's automatically there in every good-hearted person.
So it's not just about being good, it's about a certain way of seeing the world?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Like some people are just naturally more insightful, or they get art.
Yeah. And the Sutta uses this analogy of polishing a black stone versus a gemstone, right? So both can be made shiny.
Right.
But the gem has this inherent brilliance.
Yeah.
The black stone just doesn't.
Right.
So someone with that innate wisdom, perhaps cultivated over lifetimes, can grasp these deeper meanings more readily.
That makes me think about those aha moments you have in life, where you just suddenly see the world differently.
Exactly.
Is that kind of?
That's what we're talking about.
What we're talking about.
The Buddha himself emphasized that wisdom is crucial for achieving nirvana.
Okay.
Because it cuts through the root of suffering, which is ignorance.
Okay.
In fact, it plays a key role in the 37 factors of enlightenment.
Okay.
These are the qualities you need to develop to reach that freedom.
Wow, so wisdom is not just a bonus, it's really the foundation.
Yeah, it's really at the heart of it.
For the whole path.
Yeah.
This is where I get tripped up a bit. When Venerable refers to wisdom as the seventh sense.
Yeah.
Now I can wrap my head around 5 senses, but 6 and 7, that's getting a little out there.
It might sound strange at first.
Yeah.
But it makes sense when you think about how our usual senses work.
Okay.
Sight, hearing, touch, they only give us fragmented pieces about the world.
Like that story of the blind men and the elephant, where they all touch a different part and think they know what an elephant is.
Right.
But they're all wrong.
Yeah, they only get a limited view.
Yeah.
So the mind is often described as the sixth sense.
Okay.
Because it gathers all that input together.
Right.
But it's wisdom, the seventh sense, that goes beyond collecting information.
Okay.
It integrates everything and analyzes it deeply.
So it's like taking those puzzle pieces from our senses and actually putting them together to see the full picture.
That's a great way to think about it.
Not just seeing, but understanding.
Yeah, and the Venerable goes on to describe 2 characteristics of wisdom that make this possible.
Okay.
Illumination and cutting.
Okay, now illumination makes sense to me. It's like shining a light in a dark room. Suddenly you can see.
Yeah.
But what about this cutting aspect? That sounds a little intense.
Think of it like this. Wisdom has a sharpness to it.
Okay.
It cuts through all the confusion, all the wrong ideas, the things that keep us stuck in bad patterns.
Right.
It helps us see through the illusions that cause us to suffer.
So it's not just about understanding peacefully, but actively dismantling those negative thought patterns that hold us back.
Exactly. And this cutting aspect is actually what leads us towards nirvana.
Okay.
That state of complete liberation.
So there are actually 3 types of nirvana described that relate to this cutting action.
Right.
Okay, well, hold on. 3 types. We'll have to get to that. But before we do, I'm still grappling with this idea that our potential for wisdom to be influenced by actions from past lives.
Right.
You know, the karma thing.
It's a concept that can really stretch our understanding of who we are and how we got here.
Yeah.
The Venerable explains it using the pradesandi mind.
Okay.
Which is the very first moment of consciousness at birth. And this mind can carry over wisdom cultivated in previous lives.
Okay.
It's like a seed planted in the past, ready to sprout and grow in this life.
So are some people just destined to be wiser because of past actions?
Not at all.
Okay.
The Venerable makes it clear that even those who may not have this inherent advantage can still cultivate wisdom through mindful actions and meditation.
Okay, that's a relief.
Remember, it's like a muscle. The more we exercise it, the stronger it becomes.
But this pradasandi mind, if it's that first spark of awareness at birth, how does it carry wisdom from previous lives? It sounds a little science fiction-y.
It is a complex concept.
Yeah.
But imagine it like this. Our actions, both positive and negative, create karmic traces.
Okay.
Almost like imprints on our consciousness.
Okay.
So if someone spent lifetimes cultivating wisdom, those traces can lead to a pradasandi mind already imbued with a certain level of understanding.
Yeah.
It's like they're starting the game on a higher level.
Okay.
But everyone has the ability to level up.
So it's not nature or nurture, but both. It's like our past actions are shaping the very foundation of our consciousness in this life.
Right.
But we can still build on that foundation, whether it's solid or needs renovation.
That's right.
I'm starting to see how this ties back to taking responsibility for our actions and understanding the ripple effects.
That's exactly the kind of insight the Sutta is trying to cultivate.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we're not just passive recipients of some predetermined fate.
Right.
Are active participants in shaping our own destinies, even across lifetimes.
This is really making me rethink the whole nature versus nurture thing.
Yeah.
And speaking of shaping destinies, you mentioned 3 types of nirvana, each connected to wisdom's cutting ability.
Yes.
So let's unpack those. What are the differences?
Okay.
And how can we use this knowledge to guide our journey toward greater peace and freedom?
Okay. Yeah, understanding these different types of nirvana can be really helpful, in guiding our own practice.
Yeah.
The first type, Tadanga nirvana, is a temporary cessation of those negative mental states.
Okay.
Like the greed and the hatred and delusion, all that stuff.
So like a little vacation from our usual mental chaos.
Exactly. The Sutta compares it to like a candle flame.
Okay.
Being shielded from the wind.
Okay.
The flame is still there, but the flickering and the disturbance are gone.
Right.
In the same way, wisdom temporarily blocks the influence of those negative forces, giving us a taste of peace and clarity.
That sounds amazing, but it's only temporary, right?
Right.
Like the wind could pick back up?
Yeah, because the root causes of those negative states haven't been completely eliminated. They can resurface and, when the conditions are right.
Right. Okay, so it's a glimpse of what's possible, but not the full deal.
Right.
What about the second type of nirvana?
Okay, that's called Bhikkhamana nirvana.
Okay.
And it's a more prolonged state of freedom from those negative mental states. This time, think of it like banking the fires of those negative emotions.
Okay.
They're not completely extinguished.
Right.
But their intensity is significantly reduced.
Okay.
This happens when wisdom works together with strong concentration.
So wisdom weakens those negative tendencies.
Yeah.
And concentration keeps them under control.
It's a powerful combination.
Yeah, like a dynamic duo.
Exactly. It allows for extended periods of peace and insight, giving us more breathing room to cultivate even deeper wisdom.
Awesome. And then, of course, the third type is the ultimate goal.
Yes.
Complete liberation.
So Vikita Nirvana.
Yeah.
This is the total eradication of all those negative states.
Okay.
Including ignorance, the root cause of all suffering.
Wow.
It's the state of perfect liberation.
Okay.
And enlightenment, the ultimate goal of the Buddhist path.
Now that's what I call transformation.
No more wind, no more flickering, just pure, steady flame.
Right, but how does this complete eradication actually happen? Is it like a switch or a gradual process?
It's definitely a process.
Okay.
And the Sutta describes it as the cutting action of wisdom, reaching its full potential.
Okay.
It's like severing the very roots of those negative tendencies.
Okay.
So they can never grow back.
Right.
But this doesn't happen all at once.
Right.
The Venerable explains that there are 4 stages of enlightenment on the path to complete liberation. With each stage, wisdom becomes stronger, cutting through deeper and deeper layers of ignorance.
Yeah.
And those unhelpful mental states.
So it's like a video game. You level up your wisdom as you progress.
Yeah.
That makes the whole thing less daunting.
Yeah.
But even the first stage seems pretty far off for me right now.
Well, remember, every journey starts with a single step.
That's true.
The Sutta offers guidance on developing wisdom.
Okay.
And it begins with really understanding how it functions in our minds.
Okay.
It's not just about knowing things.
Right.
It's about how we use that knowledge to see the world differently.
So back to basics. How does wisdom work in the mind?
Yeah.
What sets it apart from other mental processes?
The Venerable highlights a distinction between 3 mental factors.
Okay.
Perception, consciousness, and wisdom.
Okay.
Each plays a role in how we understand the world.
Yeah.
But wisdom is the most refined and accurate instrument.
So they're all on the same team, but wisdom is the star player.
You could say that.
Okay.
Perception is like our basic understanding of things. It's how we label things.
Yes. Right.
This is a tree, this is blue, this is loud.
Right.
It gives us the raw data, but doesn't go much deeper.
Okay, pretty straightforward. What about consciousness then?
Consciousness goes a bit deeper than perception.
Okay.
It's the awareness that recognizes the qualities of experiences.
Okay.
This is pleasant, this is unpleasant, this is changing.
Right.
It helps us understand the nature of things beyond just their surface features.
Okay, I see the difference, but wisdom takes us even further.
Exactly.
It's not just about recognizing what something is, but its deeper significance.
Wisdom takes us to the most profound level of understanding.
Okay.
It's the ability to see the true nature of reality, the interconnectedness of everything, the impermanence of all things, the cause and effect relationships that shape our lives.
Like seeing the matrix.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's a powerful image.
It's like finally seeing beyond the illusions we create.
Yeah.
And understanding how everything fits together.
If wisdom is so crucial, why isn't it present in every wholesome mind?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it points to the fact that wisdom isn't just about acquiring knowledge.
Okay.
It's about a fundamental shift in perspective.
Okay.
It's a way of seeing the world that's free from those mental filters of delusion and attachment.
Yeah.
That distorts our understanding.
So it's not just filling our heads with facts. It's about transforming our whole way of seeing.
That's a great analogy.
Like cleaning a dirty window so we can finally see.
Yeah, and that kind of transformation requires effort, practice, and a willingness to let go of those limiting beliefs and attachments we cling to.
Right.
It's a journey that takes courage, commitment, and maybe even many lifetimes to fully unfold.
That definitely sounds like a challenge.
It is.
But also incredibly inspiring.
It is.
To see the world with that clarity.
It must be truly liberating.
Yeah. And while the path is challenging, the Sutta reminds us that it's worth taking.
Yeah.
The rewards of cultivating wisdom are immeasurable.
Right.
Greater peace.
Deeper compassion.
And ultimately the end of suffering.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about the nature of wisdom, how it differs from perception and consciousness, and even how it connects to past lives.
Right.
But how do we cultivate it? What are the steps involved?
The Venerable suggests one of the most effective ways is through meditation.
Okay.
But not just any kind of meditation.
Right.
It needs to be a type that specifically cultivates insight.
Okay.
Like vipassana, which is all about mindfulness.
Right. I've heard of Vipassana.
Yeah.
But what makes it different from other forms of meditation?
It's all about paying attention to the present moment.
Okay.
With clarity and without judgment.
Okay.
We observe our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without getting caught up in them.
So it's like becoming aware of our inner world without getting swept away by the current.
Exactly. And as we practice mindfulness, it starts to permeate other areas of our lives.
Okay.
We become more aware of our reactions,
Yeah.
our habits, the choices we're making.
Right.
And that awareness gives us the opportunity to respond with more wisdom rather than just reacting on autopilot.
Yeah, it's like we're upgrading our operating system, becoming more conscious and intentional.
Right.
But mindfulness is just one piece, right?
That's right.
How else can we nurture those wholesome qualities that support wisdom?
Another important aspect is cultivating ethical conduct.
Okay.
The Buddha outlined 5 precepts that are essential for creating a foundation of harmony and well-being. Refraining from harming living beings, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, and intoxicants.
Right, the basic do no harm principles.
Exactly.
But how do these ethical guidelines support wisdom?
Yeah.
It seems like a bit of a leap from not killing a mosquito to seeing the true nature of reality.
It might seem that way on the surface.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, these precepts are all about cultivating wholesome qualities.
Okay.
Like compassion, kindness, honesty, and self-control.
Right.
And these qualities create a fertile ground for wisdom to grow.
Okay.
When our minds are clouded with greed, hatred, or delusion, it's difficult to see things clearly.
It's like trying to meditate in a room full of screaming kids.
Right.
It's not exactly conducive to inner peace.
Yeah, so by cultivating these ethical principles, we're essentially clearing out the mental clutter
right.
and creating a more peaceful, inner environment.
Okay.
Where wisdom can flourish.
That's a beautiful analogy.
Yeah.
It makes me think about all the ways we can cultivate those wholesome qualities in our daily lives. It's not just about grand gestures. It's also the small acts of kindness, patience, and generosity.
Absolutely.
That we offer ourselves and others.
It's about making conscious choices that align with those wholesome qualities.
Yeah.
Speaking kindly, acting with integrity.
Right.
Being mindful of our impact.
Yeah.
It's about weaving those threads of wisdom into the very fabric of our lives.
This is really painting a picture of what a wisdom-infused life could look like.
Right.
It's not about becoming some sage on a mountaintop.
Yeah.
It's about bringing that clarity and compassion into every interaction, every decision, every moment.
That's the beauty of it. Wisdom isn't something reserved for a select few.
Yeah.
It's accessible to all of us.
Right.
It's in the way we listen, the way we speak, the way we move through the world.
Yeah.
It's in the choices we make, big and small.
I love that.
It's about waking up to the potential that's already within us.
It's like we're all on this journey of awakening, and wisdom is the map that guides us.
That's a great way to put it.
But even with a map, it's easy to get lost.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to those just starting out? Or to those who might be feeling lost?
Remember, this is a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
There will be ups and downs, moments of insight, and moments of confusion.
Yeah.
The key is to be patient with ourselves.
Okay.
To keep practicing, to keep learning, to keep that flame of curiosity burning bright.
Right. Surround yourself with supportive friends, teachers, and communities.
Yes.
Seek out those who inspire you, challenge you to grow, remind you of your own wisdom.
And don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, we're all in this together.
Beautifully said. And remember the words of the Buddha.
Okay.
Just as a mother would protect her only child at the risk of her own life, even so, let one cultivate a boundless heart towards all beings.
Wow.
That boundless heart, that all-encompassing compassion.
Yeah.
Is the very essence of wisdom.
That's a powerful reminder that wisdom isn't just about personal enlightenment. It's about extending that compassion and understanding to all beings.
Right.
It's about creating a more peaceful, just an harmonious world for everyone.
That's the ultimate goal, isn't it? Yeah. To use this wisdom to benefit not just ourselves, but all beings everywhere.
And that's a journey worth embarking on.
It is.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Buddhist wisdom. We hope it's sparked some insights, some inspiration.
Some moments.
Yeah, a little bit of that magic.
Remember, the path of wisdom is always unfolding.
Yeah.
Always waiting to be explored.
So keep seeking.
Keep practicing. And keep that boundless heart open.
Until next time.
May your journey be filled with wisdom, compassion, and joy.
So we've talked about, the nature of wisdom and how it differs from perception and consciousness and even how it connects to, past lives. But practically speaking, how do we actually cultivate it?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah, what are the steps involved?
The Sutta offers some guidance.
Okay.
And it all comes back to cultivating those wholesome qualities that support wisdom's growth. Remember the 37 factors of enlightenment?
Yeah.
Things like mindfulness, investigation of Dhamma, energy, joy, tranquility.
Right. Creating the optimal environment for that wisdom seed to sprout.
Exactly.
But where do we even begin?
Well, as we discussed, mindfulness meditation is a powerful tool for developing that present moment awareness, which is the foundation for so much of this path.
Yeah.
Even setting aside a few minutes each day to simply observe our breath and notice our thoughts and feelings without judgment can make a huge difference.
So it's about creating that space to step back from that constant chatter of our minds.
Yeah, just to observe things with a bit more objectivity.
Like hitting the pause button on autopilot?
Exactly. And as we practice mindfulness, it starts to permeate other areas of our lives. We become more aware of our reactions, our habits, the choices we're making.
Right.
And that awareness gives us the opportunity to respond with more wisdom.
Rather than just reacting. Yeah, it's like upgrading our operating system.
Yeah, becoming more conscious and intentional.
Right, but mindfulness is just one piece.
That's right.
What are some other ways we can nurture those wholesome qualities?
Another important aspect is cultivating ethical conduct.
Okay.
The Buddha outlined 5 precepts that are essential for creating a foundation of harmony and well-being.
Okay.
Refraining from harming living beings, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, and intoxicants.
Right, the basic do no harm principles.
Exactly.
But how do these ethical guidelines support wisdom?
Yeah, it might seem like a bit of a leap.
Yeah, from not killing a mosquito to seeing the true nature of reality.
Right. But when you think about it, these precepts are all about cultivating wholesome qualities, like compassion, kindness, honesty, and self-control.
Right.
And these qualities create a fertile ground for wisdom to grow. When our minds are clouded with greed, hatred, or delusion, it's difficult to see things clearly.
Right. It's like trying to meditate in a room full of screaming kids.
Right, exactly.
Not exactly conducive to peace and clarity.
Yeah, so by cultivating these ethical principles, we're essentially clearing out the mental clutter.
Right.
And creating a more peaceful inner environment.
Yeah.
Where wisdom can flourish.
Okay, that's a great analogy.
It's like tending a garden.
Yeah.
You need to pull out the weeds and nourish the soil before you can expect anything beautiful to grow.
I like that. It makes me think about all the ways we can cultivate those qualities in our daily lives. It's not just the grand gestures, but the small acts of kindness and patience and generosity.
Absolutely.
That we offer ourselves and others.
It's about making conscious choices that align with those wholesome qualities.
Yeah.
Speaking kindly, acting with integrity.
Yeah.
Being mindful of our impact.
Right.
It's about weaving those threads of wisdom into the very fabric of our lives.
This is really giving me a good picture of what a wisdom-infused life could look like.
Right. It's not about becoming some sage on a mountaintop.
Yeah.
It's about bringing that clarity and compassion into every interaction, every decision, every moment.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
Wisdom isn't something that's reserved for a select few.
Right.
It's accessible to all of us.
I love that.
It's about waking up to the potential that's already within us.
Like we're all on this journey of awakening.
Yeah.
And wisdom is the map that guides us.
That's a great way to put it.
But even with a map, it's easy to get lost or discouraged.
It is.
What advice would you give to those who are just starting out?
Remember that this is a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
There will be ups and downs, moments of insight and moments of confusion.
Right.
The key is to be patient with ourselves.
Yeah.
To keep practicing, to keep learning, to keep that flame of curiosity burning bright.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Exactly.
Surround yourself with supportive friends.
Yes. Teachers and community.
Seek out those who inspire you, challenge you to grow, remind you of your own innate wisdom.
Beautifully said. And remember the words in the Buddha.
Okay.
Just as a mother would protect her only child at the risk of her own life. Even so, let one cultivate a boundless heart towards all beings.
Wow.
That boundless heart, that all-encompassing compassion, is the very essence of wisdom.
That's a great reminder that wisdom isn't just about personal enlightenment.
It's about extending that compassion and understanding to all beings.
It's about creating a more peaceful, just, and harmonious world.
That's the ultimate goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
To use this wisdom to benefit not just ourselves, but all beings everywhere.
And that's definitely a journey worth embarking on.
It is a journey worth taking.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thank you everyone for listening.
Into the world of Buddhist wisdom.
Yeah.
We hope it sparks some insights and inspiration.
And we hope you'll continue to explore these ideas.
Yeah, keep seeking.
Keep practicing. Keep that boundless heart open.
Until next time.
May your journey be filled with wisdom, compassion, and joy.